Donald Trump were to argue that Kamala Harris shouldn't be president because she's emotional and she could never lead because she's a woman, would that be sexist? Even if he knew that that was false and women could lead, even if he knew that, if he even said that you shouldn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's an emotional woman and emotional women can never lead, would that be sexist?
Is she emotional?
The only reason why he's saying that is because she's a woman. No other reason. There's no other data points or evidence to indicate that she's acutely irrational or emotional. And he's saying that she's irrational or emotional merely because she's a woman. And that's why people shouldn't vote for her, even though he knows that it's a lie. Would that be sexist?
If that was the case, then yes.
Okay, so now you accept that Donald Trump was engaging in racism directed towards Obama, because we could actually accept that Donald Trump knew it was a lie. We could accept that Donald Trump knew Obama was born here, but it still stands. The only reason why he did lie about this was because he's black. It would still amount to racism. The same way, even if Donald Trump knew that Kamala Harris wasn't irrational, wasn't emotional, but still said that she was an irrational, emotional person that couldn't lead merely because she's a woman, that'd be sexist.
What if she actually was emotional and it wasn't because she was a woman?
Okay, well, in the same way, Donald Trump accused Obama of being born in Africa when in all reality he wasn't born in Africa. This is like saying, what if Obama was actually born in Africa and there's good evidence for that? But you agreed that there's not. Therefore, you just accepted that the only way Donald Trump's statement could have not been racist was if Obama was actually born in Africa and there was good evidence for that, which there's not, and you've already conceded. Therefore, in accordance with your view, you now have to admit that Donald Trump was engaging in racism.
You're playing the race card in a scenario.
No, stop. You just argued that the only way Donald Trump wouldn't have been engaging in sexism directed to Kamala Harris is if she was actually irrational and she was actually emotional and there was demonstrable evidence for that claim, right? Right?
One more time.
You just argued that the only way if Donald Trump said that Kamala Harris was irrational, emotional, would it have not have been sexist is if there was actually evidence that she was actually irrational and emotional, right?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore the only way that Donald Trump's statement that Obama was born in Africa could not have been racist if there was actually evidence that he was actually born in Africa, right?
It wasn't racist, it was just false.
Wait, you right? No, yes or no?
No, it was.
Okay, wait, so why in one circumstance, why does your standard change? You're saying the only way it wouldn't be sexist for Donald Trump to say Kamala Harris was not irrational emotional is if it was actually true that she was irrational emotional. So therefore, why don't you hold that same standard as it would relate to Obama being born in Africa? Why don't you say the only way it wouldn't have been racist for Donald Trump to posit that Obama was born in Africa was if it was actually true that Obama was born in Africa? You are clearly contradicting your own standard of evidence that you uphold in the context of sexism that you are not upholding in the context of racism. Why is your standard changing from sexism to racism?
It's not changing. Can I explain? 30 seconds.
Please explain.
Okay. All right. The reason why it's different is because it's not under the premise that he is black. It's under the premise that he is not a citizen, is not able to. It's a dumb thing he did.
No, this is like saying this isn't under the premise that Kamala Harris is a woman. It's under the premise that she's irrational and emotional, and the only reason why he's saying that is because she's a woman. But you've already accepted that even if it's under the premise that Kamala Harris is irrational and emotional, and the only reason why he's saying that is because she's a woman, you agreed it's sexist. So even with this explanation that it's not under the premise that he's black, but it's rather under the premise that he was born in Africa, well, because you already accepted the only reason why he said that is because Obama's black, it would therefore have to amount to racism, given that you uphold the same standard for sexism that you do racism.
So if he's racist, then why does he have so much black people vote for him?
No, by the way, he doesn't. Only 15% of black people voted for him, and 83% of black people think that he's racist.
But black people work for him still.
Okay, so black people working for a white man does not mean that that white man is racist. In fact, that's what we saw during slavery. Black people doing work for white men. Now back to the question that you are now pivoting away from. Concede that Donald Trump is racist in the same way that you're arguing that if he were to say that Kamala Harris was emotional or irrational merely because she's a woman, he would be sexist. I've defeated any possible counter argument that you have here. Make the concession or give the difference.
The difference is that a random black man working for the president of America is not slavery.
No, you're pivoting, you're dodging. You're actually dodging, bro. This is embarrassing for you. You said that Donald Trump would be sexist if he posited that Kamala Harris was rational and emotional and can't lead merely because she's a woman. So why isn't he racist for positing that Obama was born in Africa merely because he's black? What's the difference?
If he were to make it so that he couldn't accept his citizenship, what else would he have said?
Well, you're not answering my question. Answer my question right now. What is the difference between Donald Trump being sexist by saying Kamala Harris is emotional and irrational merely because she's a woman, and Donald Trump being racist by saying Obama was born in Africa merely because he's black? What is the difference?
All right, I'm gonna respond clearly. I just want you to ask the question for me one more time.
Yeah, for sure. Here for the billionth time. What is the difference between Donald Trump being sexist if he were to accuse Kamala Harris of being irrational, emotional, and unable to lead merely because she's a woman, and Donald Trump being racist by positing that Obama isn't able to lead because he was born in Africa merely because he's black? What's the difference?
The difference is that he doesn't. The reason why he doesn't want Obama to be president is not because he's black, but because he's incompetent in other areas. But he said it was because that was a way that he could get him in the fact that he wasn't a citizenship.
Okay, so would he still be engaging in sexism directed towards Kamala Harris if he told everybody that they shouldn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman and women are super emotional and irrational, therefore she's super emotional and irrational, even if he knew that she wasn't emotional and irrational and just wanted to be able to beat her in the election?
Well, Kamala is irrational, and
just answer my question. Just answer my question. Given that she wasn't, given that you didn't think that she was, answer my question, please.
If it would be sexist if she was competent somehow.
Yeah, so she's competent, but he's saying that she's incompetent and super irrational and can't lead merely because she's a woman. But he knows that she actually is competent and can lead, and that she's not incompetent because she's a woman. He just doesn't want her to win the race. Would it still be sexist?
Yeah, that is sexist. We agree on that.
So you just agreed that even though, according to you, he knew that Obama wasn't born in Africa, and he was only saying that in an attempt to get people not to vote for Obama, it's still racist.
Not because he's black, but because he's not a citizenship. There's a difference.
Wait, not because Kamala Harris is a woman, but because she's irrational, right? But then we'd say that he's positing that she is irrational because she's a woman, making it sexist, the same way that he's positing that Obama was born in Africa because he's black, making it racist.
But that would also under the premise that she actually is irrational.
Okay, no, we're operating under the premise here that she's actually not irrational, the same way we're operating under the premise that Obama's actually not born in Africa, making them both one sexist and the other racist.
And you can't just
what's the difference?
Be an irrational.
Wait, what's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference between it being sexist directed towards Kamala Harris and it being racist directed towards Obama? What's the difference?
The difference is that he intended it as a false statement to try to get people to not vote for him.
Wait, so if Donald Trump intended it to be a false statement directed towards Kamala Harris by saying that she's super irrational and emotional because she's a woman to get people not to vote for her, would it still be sexist?
No.
What? Wait, so now you could say that you shouldn't vote for this woman because she's a woman and women are super irrational and emotional and they can't fucking lead for jack shit, and that's not sexist.
And you think that people
wait, I just want you to affirm it's not sexist for Donald Trump to say that nobody should vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman and women are super irrational, emotional, incompetent fools that can't lead. That's not sexist?
That is sexist.
Okay, even if he knows that it's false, right? Yes or no? Even if he knows that it's false, yes or no? Is it still sexist? Even if he knows that it's false?
If he knows that it's false,
is it still sexist? Yes or no?
Because she's a woman.
If it's still sexist, yes or no?
Sexist. But yes.
Okay. So then your argument as it relates to Obama fails. Your argument as it relates to Obama absolutely fails, because your argument is that it's not racist because he knew that it was false, but it is still racist even though he knew it was false. For the same reason, it would still be sexist for him to say that Kamala Harris can't lead because she's irrational because she's a woman, even if he knew that was false. Right. Do you concede?
No. Let me respond. The reason why it's different is because it's not under the premise that he's a bad president because he's black. It's because he would be a bad president because he wasn't born. He's not a citizenship.
Wait, but we've already went through this meta justification. This is like saying it's not sexist to say that Kamala Harris can't lead because she's incompetent because she's a woman. Because you're not saying that she can't lead because she's a woman. You're saying that she can't lead because she's incompetent. The reason that it'd still be sexist is because we're arguing here that she'd be incompetent because she's a woman. The same way Donald Trump argued that he was born in Africa because he was black.
Yeah, but not being applicable is different from not being good.
What?
Not being capable is different from not being applicable. What
does that mean?
You're simply not able to run for the president. Like it's even
but it still amounts to a push towards people to not vote for them in the election. It's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. So then
That's
once again,
all
do you
I
see how
want.
your argument fails here? You're saying it wasn't racist when he said this about Obama because he wasn't saying that he can't run for president because he's black. He's saying that he can't run for president because he wasn't born here. But then the reason why he's saying he wasn't born here is because he's black. So therefore, under your view, it wouldn't be sexist for Donald Trump to say that Kamala Harris shouldn't be president because she's incompetent because she's a woman, because still yet the first line of justification is not the fact that she's a woman, but rather the fact that she's incompetent. The same way the first line of justification is not the fact that Obama is black, but rather because Obama wasn't born here.
Okay, you're actually talking a little bit too fast here.
I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna kick you because I legitimately think that you're just straight up a dumbass. Like low key, don't know how you brush your teeth in the morning. You know, I'm just gonna kick you. Move on. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box, y'all. Only up inside of that queue of your MAGA, please and thank you. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Wow, dude, these Trump supporters are droids, dude. Holy droid. Hi Taylor, do you support Trump?
Yeah, sorry, I disconnected earlier because I'm homesick from work and maintenance came. But I just wanted to ask you. You told me how can I support Trump when he's the most anti-Christian person, and I just want to ask.
Yeah, I'm just
from
gonna
you-
take a. Do you mind if I just
No,
take a
I
moment
just
to
wanna-
thank a couple people?
I just want to.
Yeah, we'll go through that all. First and foremost, was that last guest kicking me or cooking me?
I literally just came back in the live. I haven't been on it. I'm going to be
Okay,
completely
okay.
honest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. What is it with Trump supporters like literally having like negative IQs?
Brushing his teeth. Sorry,
Yeah,
what?
dude. Well, I just want to take a second to reflect on that. Thank a couple people, then we'll hop into the debate. But like, I want to make sure that I'm not going insane here. Can we like all agree that guy had like a negative IQ? Like everyone that was listening to that last debate, like even the people on the right. I just need that affirmation so I know that I'm not going crazy here. Yes, like actually like negative IQ. Perfect. Love. I need that affirmation, you know, because think about it from my perspective. I am just in a conversation with this person. Okay. I am only talking to this person. The only other person in the room is this crazy person. All right. So it's not like I have anybody else to affirm that like I'm not going crazy and that this guy's just like super dumb. Okay, good. I love to just see all of the yeses in the chat. That makes me feel a lot better because it kind of does. It kind of can drive me a little bit crazy sometimes to be trying to convince a rock of reality. Okay. And then it comes to this point where it's like, maybe I'm in the wrong here. And there is some good reason why this point isn't being understood. But there was no good reason why that point wasn't being understood. And that guy was just absurdly dense, right? Like that guy would argue that the sky's not blue. That guy would argue that I don't have 5 fingers on my hand. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to thank a couple people. First and foremost, DK, thank you so much for the 20 over on Super Chat. Thank you so much for that love, DK. Let's get 200 DKWs down below in that comment section. DK with the 20 says that logic is like a doctor seeing a non-European name and saying they'll need a translator, refusing care, then claiming it isn't racist because he knew they spoke English. Knowing the truth doesn't excuse a biased claim. You are absolutely right, DK. That is actually a really good example. Then Kel, thank you for the $10 who says, I love watching Dean cook. At least somebody got enjoyment out of that last conversation because it certainly wasn't me. Thank you for the 10. Maria, thank you so much for the $11 over on PayPal. Maria with the 11 says, I've been watching you and Parker every night for the last couple of weeks. I think that what you're doing is amazing, especially now when there's so much instability and propaganda in the world. Congrats on your patience. Greetings from Greece. Well, shout out to Greece. Thank you for the $11 and thank you so much for tuning in. You are awesome. As well as Deja, thank you for another $5. Isaiah with a $10 who says, holy shit, these guys are giving me a migraine. Trump is not going to let y'all hit. Stop glazing him. So real, bro. And then Serena, thank you so much for the $1. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Over on Vimeo quickly. Ray, thank you for the $5. Carrie, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Let's get 500 Carrie W's in that chat. Thank you so much for that love. Thank you so much for that support. You are bubba based. Holy shit. Huge shout out to Carrie. Carrie with a 50 just dropped a little salute emoji. Thank you so much for the support. Shauna, thank you for the 5. And then Oscar, thank you for the $11 and the 11 cents who says, hi Oscar. I hope that you're having a good day today. And then Jaden, thank you for the $10 and congratulations on changing your MAGA family members' minds. If you're watching and you want to support, you can find both of those two things, Venmo and the PayPal. I'm just going to say a couple filler words so TikTok doesn't take me down here, but you know what I'm referring to. And the link to in the bio. I appreciate you guys so much for all the love. You could attach a message and I'll do my best to read it off. Now, Taylor, you're curious why he's anti-American?
No, anti-Christian.
Sorry, anti-Christian, sure. Because he does the opposite of what the Bible tells us to do.
Okay, give me examples.
Leviticus 19:33-34 says to treat all the foreigners that reside among you in your land equally and fairly to the same way you treat your natural U.S.-born citizens. Donald Trump says if you're a foreigner that resides among us in our land, I'm going to treat you unfairly by labeling you the vermin of the earth. I'm going to treat you unfairly by labeling you as a mental asylum escapee, prison escaping, and then I'm going to treat you very evilly and unfairly and unequally to citizens by taking your constitutional rights and protections away to then deport you to be tortured in another country. That's one example. I have about 1 billion, so if we want to go point by point, we can.
Sure, I'll just start with the first one. So Well, Jesus does treat everybody fairly. Jesus also talks about in Matthew when he's talking about paying taxes that what's Caesar's is what's Caesar's. And Jesus loves everybody, but Jesus also doesn't believe in.
You left the app.
Oh, no, sorry, that was my battery. Jesus is against illegal immigration because Jesus is about following the law. Jesus was a law-abiding person. He always preached about following the law. And when you enter this country illegally, you are committing a crime. So I'm just throwing that out there. So I know that's a lot of people's argument.
So would Jesus follow the law during American slavery with the fugitive escapee slave clause of the Constitution that mandated people, if they were to come across an escaped enslaved individual, to deport, to send them back to their enslaver?
I'm coming in here to talk about how I don't agree that you can say Trump is anti-Christian.
Wait, I'm just asking you, would Jesus follow the fugitive slave clause? Yes or no?
No, he wouldn't. So
Even though it was a law? So you're arguing here that Jesus would not follow law that contradicts like good moral values, right? So therefore, Jesus wouldn't follow the law of mass deportation because it contradicts the good moral values as described by Leviticus 19 verses 33 or 34.
Okay, first of all, also, when people like to quote the Old Testament, you also have to keep in mind.
Jesus would have told the Nazis where the Jewish people were.
Yep.
Okay, hold
Apparently.
on. You guys, okay, your guys' favorite thing is to just talk super fast and throw all your facts at people without giving them a chance to talk. Because let's be honest, you know more than everybody here. You're more well-versed on this. I'm not honestly trying to get into the super political part of it, but what I'm trying to say is from a Christian standpoint, it even says in the Bible, you can't be Christian if you support that. And it's like, I just don't agree with that. And honestly, Trump appointing 3 Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe v. Wade is the biggest example of how he's pro-Christian, because the murdering of 73 million babies per year is murder. That's exactly what it is.
73 million.
73 million babies are aborted globally per year.
Oh, globally. Okay.
Yes.
Base?
Globally, not in America. Globally. And
Okay,
one of
anyways,
the
listen,
and
okay.
people who support Trump, and by the way, I don't.
So my girlfriend has gotten 36 abortions in the last 2 months, and she's a good Christian. Do you agree?
You're telling me your girlfriend has had 36 abortions?
Yeah, and she's a good Christian, right?
I don't think you're stating a fact. I think you're trying to make an example here. I highly doubt that your girlfriend said 36 abortions. You can't be pregnant 36 times in the last 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
I saw you clip someone with that recently. That was
Listen.
crazy.
I'm clearly being outrageous. Okay, but like women that praise Satan, love to get abortions,
hypotheticals,
change their gender every day.
And all I'm
Are they
saying is, at the end of the day, no human
That's
on this
really
earth
relevant.
is in the authority to judge anybody else about Christianity. That is up to God and God only. And that's all I'm here to say. I don't know enough on politics to sit here and debate them. So
Don't worry. We won't debate politics. We'll just debate everything that you've said so far.
I'm just saying.
So I just want to respond real quick. So if you don't think that anybody is in a position to judge, then why do you think that the legislators are in a position to judge and condemn women that want to access abortion by revoking said access from them? That is the biggest issue with the argument that you're making, that it's not up to us, it's all up to God. But then you turn around and you argue that it is up to us and we can make that judgment, legally speaking.
Murder. Abortion is murder, and that's just a fact.
Wait, would God ever endorse murder, ever?
What?
Would God ever endorse abortion in any scenario, in any context whatsoever?
None
Okay, so then what the hell is Leviticus 5:11 through 31?
Please read it to me. I don't know every Bible verse off the top of my head like you apparently do.
Yeah, it's God blessing priests to give abortions to women who cheat on their husbands, then get pregnant.
I don't know what Bible you're reading, but that is definitely not the case. And God is not for abortion in any scenario. It is the
So then
murder.
go open up your Bible and read it to us.
Okay, hold on. I got to go grab my NIV. And also, by the way, I can guarantee you that, okay, you probably don't identify as a Christian, so everything that you're going to argue me on.
No, I'm a good Christian.
Are
you judging me? Are you telling me that I'm not a good Christian right now? Didn't you just say like 10 minutes ago you can't do that?
You don't practice Christianity, yes?
I do. Test me. I do practice Christianity. Test me.
Practice Christianity.
Yeah, ask me anything. Ask me anything. I can prove it. Ask me anything.
In the Bible, you're going to honestly tell me in the Bible that God is okay with abortion?
Yeah, God is sometimes okay with abortion. That is absolutely true.
I'm sorry that you have been completely misguided, but that is not true.
Okay. All right. Well, first and foremost, you're condemning my...
I'm sure that you read scripture and interpret it whatever way.
Well, I just want your interpretation of it.
All you are is you run your mouth.
Wow, you're really judging me pretty hard, bro.
Yeah, Yeah, you know what I am, but guess what? I'm not Jesus.
Anti-Christian.
Actually, only Jesus.
I'm a sinner. I'm not
Taylor,
perfect.
only
I'm a sinner.
Jesus
I'm
can
not
judge
perfect.
Dean. Only Jesus can judge Dean.
That is true, and I'm a sinner, and I will repent for it like I continue.
Okay, then do it right now. Then do it right now. Then repent right now.
I don't have to repent in front of you. I repent in front of my Lord, not a human.
I know. Repent in front of your Lord
human.
right now.
And that's something I do in private, like my prayer.
Okay.
See, the problem with you is that you have a bully mentality and you talk as fast as you can and you have facts sitting in front of you on your screen and you just sit there and you talk over people and you ramble as fast as you can just to confuse people. I don't respect the fact that you do that. I don't think that you're here for honest conversation. I think you're here to prove people wrong and gain followers. That's honestly what I think. And I think that people love to use Christianity as an argument for politics. Oh, Trump's not a Christian, this, that. You are in no authority to judge anybody on their religion. That's for God only. And I know you think you're a God, but you're not. You're a pathetic human.
Okay, thank you. So I think that we actually do have limited authority to make judgment calls on if individuals are abiding with the moral virtues as described by the Christian Bible or not. Like I get like the theme here of saying that like ultimately like God is a judge who determines who's going to heaven, who's going to hell. And to that I agree. That is theologically accurate in consideration of Christianity. But what is not theologically accurate is you're basically telling us that the Bible means nothing. Okay, the moral virtues as described by the Bible are meaningless. And people could just go run wild, do whatever the hell they want to do, murder, kill, lie, cheat, adulter, so on and so forth. And then we have no authority / ability whatsoever to call them out on it. Oh, actually, she was actually too scared to preach the word of God. Because what did I ask her to do? That she refused to do and instead left on. I asked her to read the Bible. I asked her to open up to Numbers 5 and read 11 through 35. And she refused. She didn't want to share the word of my God publicly to all of you. She's a fake, bad Christian, a performative Christian who uses it as a tool to signal ultimate divine forgiveness over all of her transgressions, so she never has to take accountability for any of her missteps ever at any point in her life, and then to turn around and weaponize it against the oppressed, against the marginalized, and against the immigrants in this country that have been sentenced to illegal deportation to be tortured in another country after being detained because they're black or brown, all in an attempt to forego any accountability for the man that did that, because he claims that he's Christian. And by the way, for like the 2.5 people in the comment section spamming WGuess, please come up here and continue her argument. None of you will, bro. None of you will. There's not a single person who will legitimately come up here and continue her argument, because that's how shitty it was. You know, like have fun continuing to advocate for your 3 brain cell IDIOTs that join this live stream, say words and then run away when they're proven wrong. Okay, like I definitely see where your priorities lie.
You caused a car accident today. Do you know that?
What's that?
You caused a car accident today. Do you know that?
It's Fish Girl?
You caused a car accident. Do you know that?
What is your profile picture?
It's you punching an old lady in the face because that's the kind of person you are.
Bro, you need to leave me alone.
You know you caused a car accident, right?
I don't think I did. You need to leave me alone.
I hit a parked car while I was listening to your live stream.
Seems like that's your fault.
Parker, why are you doing that? Why are you... That's not funny.
I'm laughing at you. You hit a parked car while watching his live stream. That's your fault.
Yeah, that sounds like it. That really sounds like your fault, man. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, she needs to stop, man. She needs to stop, bro. She needs to stop. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the queue. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to be MAGA, please and thank you. I wish that Tiffany would come back, but we know she won't. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, what year are you born in?
99.
All right, I'm going to thank a couple people, then we'll pass that mic. First and foremost, thank you so much for the 20 euros over on YouTube Super Chat from Devil's Daughter. Thank you so much for that, love, daughter. Thank you so much. Daughter with the 20 euros says, her first statement was a lie. He intentionally broke traditional rabbinic rules and legalistic interpretations regarding the Sabbath by prioritizing human need and love over strict man-made traditions. No, you're actually right, because you had your religious law where Jesus presided, And he broke that religious law. 110%. Really good point. Then Fussy, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. Let's get 150 Fussy W's down below in that comment section. He says, Dina had an argument with an ignorant MAGA that thinks America is a Christian nation, and he only deals with fact. But when I brought up the fact that even Thomas Jefferson and John Adams states is not, he denies it and pivots from it despite it being factual. Yeah, you'll see that a lot. You'll see that a lot, Fussy. Thank you for the $15. Thomas, thank you so much for the $15 as well over on Venmo. Says, Jesus did not follow the law. He was literally killed because he didn't. Appreciate you so much for the $15. I mean, I slightly disagree there. You know, like the attempted legal argument to crucify Jesus is because he was claiming to be a king, and that was illegal because it was seditious in accordance with claiming kingship over the Caesar. But in all reality, claimed to be a king of men, not in the sense of the state, but rather in the sense of being their heavenly creator. So I think I would defer to the argument about him breaking the religious law instead of like the Remain law. But also, None, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. And then Serena, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Let's get 200 Serena W's down below in that comment section. Serena says, here's my daily support. Serena, I hope that you're having a great day today. Show some love to Serena down below, and I really, really appreciate you. If you're watching and you want to support, you can find the Venmo and PayPal link tree in the bio. Appreciate you guys so much for all the love. Also, the handle's right there. One more here from Jeannie over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the $20, who says, love to Dina Parker, love to Santana too. Thank you so much for the support, Jeannie. I hope that you're enjoying today's stream. Show some love to Jeannie down below. And with that, go ahead and take it away, 335.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right.
Okay, I'll just make sure you can hear me. Can I ask you, do you support Trump?
Fuck no.
You don't support Trump?
Absolutely.
May I
He's
ask
the worst
why?
president of your life.
Okay, may I ask why?
Well, because he's the worst president of your life.
But why is that your opinion?
Because of his character, domestic policy, and foreign policy.
Okay. So what about what's going on? Do you agree with what he's doing in Iran? I'm assuming you don't.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so the reason why I came up here, because I just got from doing a debate with another TikToker. And I wanted to ask you, because I don't think he really thought about, like, do you believe that you are allowed to support somebody, but you don't have to support everything they do?
Yeah, you don't have to support everything that one does in order to support them as president. However, if the cons outweigh the pros, or one of the cons would constitute like a red line, like you can't support them in consideration of the single facts, then you should stop supporting the person. Like, in short, it depends. Okay,
so because my whole thing, because you're probably going to say the same thing he says, because he's like, so you're no longer a Trump supporter. And I'm like, I mean, from the way you're explaining it, yes. And from the way you just explained it, I guess. Because I don't agree with what he's doing in Iran, because it was just, I don't think he knows what he was doing. There's a reason why 30 presidents passed on attacking this man. And I think he just got us drugged into something worse than Vietnam, to be honest with you. I didn't want to come up here and botch your panel or anything like that. I just wanted to give my opinion on how I feel about Trump.
Okay, but I mean, do you support him as president?
Man, that is a really hard. There's some things he's doing. There's a lot of things he's doing.
Do the pros outweigh the cons, or do the cons outweigh the pros?
No, the cons outweigh the pros.
Yeah, man. Then I don't think it should be hard at all. You are not a Trump supporter. There you go. Perfect. You're telling me that this is exactly what somebody else on their live stream told you. I'll tell you the same thing. Just got to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box. Here we go. We got Kevin loading in. We got Ice Hensley loading in. All right. Give him a moment to join your folks. Only up inside of that queue of your MAGA, please, and thank you. Oh, Parker can't hear you. You are muted.
Oh, I meant to say the flags
Hello?
today is yesterday.
Nope, not a single one. Knock on wood. Yeah, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Oh, it's you. You know me, huh? Yeah, you are, you're a racist. That's what you are.
You tell all these nice folks why you've been ducking me.
I haven't been ducking you.
I'm just fucking with you.
You think that I've been ducking you because I haven't been talking to you, but then you consider that you're just maybe not worth my time.
That's all my personal opinion. You're like the Cowardly Lion.
Cowardly lion that has ate your ass every wow. The cowardly lion that has beat your ass in every single debate in which
No way,
engaged in.
man.
All right, moving on, bro. Just restart. Let's just move on to the next guest. Let's just completely restart the dialogue. We got Truth Teller loaded up into the box. All right, guys. Only hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA, please, and thank you. Wow. Hi, do you support Trump? Wow.
Yeah, I do. How's it going, Dean?
All right,
How's it
yeah.
going,
Why is that?
Parker?
Why is that? Why are you MAGA? Go ahead.
Is Mega God? Did
What's that?
you say is MAGA God?
No, I asked if you support Trump as president.
Oh, I thought you'd asked if he was a god. No, he's not a god.
Why do you support Trump? Oh, bro.
Let's see, because putting America first, not immigrants first, unlike the last president, which completely destroyed our country. So that's one thing.
Okay, so you're saying that Biden was destroying the country and Trump is saving the country, but we had better macroeconomic
Essentially,
trends
yeah,
during the last
Biden's
2
part of the
years
cabal.
Biden-Harris administration.
Part of the Epstein group.
And failing macroeconomic trends during the first 2 years of the Trump administration.
Yeah, Biden's part of the same group that wants to sacrifice children to Nimrod and eat them. So, all according to the Epstein files.
I actually got to kick you for saying that, or else I'll get a misinformation flag. But just to keep it short, you're crazy. Sorry, I'm gonna get a misinformation
Like,
flag. So I
there's
gotta
no
fix it.
evidence Biden was a part of that, but you have better reason to say Trump was.
Yeah, like, you know, I would love to debate like the Q folk out there, right? For sure, like that'd be funny because I'd just destroy him. But like I can't because TikTok punishes. Oh my god, it took forever to kick them because TikTok punishes misinformation. Like that specific kind of misinformation. If you make that claim about any president, like your account just gets taken down pretty much. So. Someone in the comment said, someone in the comment section. Oh, go ahead.
I said it was proof of the deep state that like people get banned.
So real.
Say that, right?
So real. Hi, do you support Trump? They are pissing. Can you guys please not piss on live? Can you do that somewhere else? Oh my god. We got the next guest, Joy. Let him happen. Yeah, next guest. Sorry, I'm just still thinking about something.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say I am a huge fan of both of you.
Thank you. Shout out to you, dude. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the support, bro. All right, now we are just looking to talk to Trump supporters, but I appreciate you so much for joining. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
26.
And why do you support the worst president of your 26 years of life?
Because I couldn't imagine somebody like Kamala Harris being our president.
Why is
And I
that?
actually have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have any evidence or anything
Ooh.
that would show that she would be a good president and that that wouldn't be
Yeah, that's an easy one.
anything other
That's
than
a-
a clown show?
That's a softball, bro. That's a complete softball. Sure, I guess before I do. Yeah, I just got the flag for misinformation from that Truth Teller guy. But anyways, so your claim is that Trump good because Kamala Harris bad?
Sure.
Okay. Well, A, even if Kamala Harris bad, that doesn't mean Trump good. They could just both be bad, so that's a false dichotomy. B, I don't understand why we'd say that the adjudicated rapist would make a better leader than the attorney made DA, made AG, made senator, made VP. And E.
Okay, well, I'm asking you why do you think Kamala Harris would have did any better?
Yeah, okay. I think I just kind of struggle with the question because it's about a year and a half old. But to answer it, sure, yeah, it's because she ran on tax cuts for the middle class. She wanted to actually give back to the average American, back to the working class, back to the low class. Meanwhile, Donald Trump wants to defund the average American, defund the working class, defund the low class, just to give more back to the top 1%. The CBPP tells us that the average American making at or under $51,000 per year will
Yo,
have less
hold on.
purchasing power.
Hold on. Can you slow down? Slow down a bit. Honestly.
Kamala Harris wanted to give more back to the average American. Donald Trump wants to take more away from the average American. Kamala Harris wanted no new wars. Donald Trump wants a new war in Iran. Kamala Harris honored and respected our allies. Donald Trump wants to invade them and steal their land. Kamala Harris wanted to engage in good global positioning through foreign affairs. Donald Trump wants to destroy us on the global stage by imposing tariffs on every other country in the world with no good reason. Kamala Harris respects the rule of law. Donald Trump doesn't. He's positioned himself above the Constitution. He wants to be a dictator. Not to mention that her character is significantly better. She's not an adjudicated rapist unlike him. She isn't boasted about sexually exploiting naked women and girls unlike him. She wasn't best friends with Epstein and then had her name illegally redacted a million times in the files unlike him. She doesn't have 40 plus accusations unlike him. She didn't hit and sexualize on a 10-year-old girl in the 90s unlike him. She didn't hit on her own daughter unlike him and about a billion other things.
All right. So you said a lot. You said a whole lot. A lot of that was false. Okay.
Yeah, feel free to prove it false.
All right. Shoot. A lot of that, what you said, you just said a whole lot of things. Let's focus on one. Because a lot of that was false, what you just said.
Then feel free to prove it false.
Okay, you said he's an adjudicated rapist. All right.
Yep.
Has he been found guilty?
Yep.
Held liable in a
Of
civil
rape?
court amongst a jury of his peers.
He's been found guilty of rape.
In a civil court, yeah.
Okay. That means liable.
Yeah, so
He's been
what I'm
found
saying.
liable. There's a difference,
I know.
right? So there's a difference for a reason, right?
But it's liable just means guilty for a civil court.
Right. Okay. But okay. So what's the distinction? Why wasn't he found guilty?
Yeah, because it was past the statute of limitations, which means after a certain amount of years,
okay,
regardless
that's
of the
why.
amount of. What's up?
That it was because it was past the statute of limitations. You don't
Do you know
think it
what that
was
is?
nothing to do with the burden of proof?
No, it was the statute of limitations, which means regardless of the amount of evidence, after a certain amount of years, that they couldn't try the case in a criminal case.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a limitation on that. That shouldn't exist. Now, for the civil case, can you name one piece of evidence in the civil case that you dispute?
I haven't even been presented with any evidence. The only evidence I've been presented with was statements.
You haven't looked into the case, is what I'm hearing.
It's just statements.
By the
So
way,
you
I just want
haven't
to
looked into the case.
I want to clarify here, and then I'll pass the mic back to you,
Which
Parker.
kid?
In 12 minutes, I'm going to be hopping on Andy Bashir's podcast, you guys, and I'm actually going to be broadcasting that live for all of you. So that's going to be here on TikTok. That's going to be on YouTube. If you don't know who Andy Bashir is the Democratic governor of Kentucky with a 65% approval rating in a very red state. So we're going to be having a conversation with him. That's going to be a lot of fun. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Parker, I actually really appreciate you for being here because hearing around like
give you guys a heads up. Parker, actually really appreciate you for being here because hearing around like
that's weird. Because here in around like 6 minutes, I'm gonna go quickly use a restroom. Maybe put like a dress shirt on, and you can stay on the live debate. I just want to let you guys know. So that'll be fun. I don't know, man. I don't know what the vibe of the podcast is gonna be. Obviously he's gonna be kind of controlling it. I have no clue what I'm walking into here. No clue why he really wants me on either. I didn't get any briefing whatsoever. I just got, Dean, do you want to join this podcast at Andy Bashir at this time? And I said yes. So I don't know what I'm walking into. If I get the opportunity, I'm actually going to try to apply a little bit of pressure. I want to start doing that to a lot of
Dean,
people.
watch this. You're about to get grilled by Andy Bashir. That's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
That's what you're about to go into. He's about to like have this whole setup of like everything that you've done wrong in your career, and he's about to go through it all. He's like, "Why did you cry for Charlie Kirk, Dean?"
He's gonna pull it. He's gonna pull it. Dean, why did you dox an innocent father, Dean?
Yeah, I wouldn't even have cried for Charlie Kirk, bro. Why did you?
Why do you lie about the anxiety pen? What the
Why
hell?
do you lie about the anxiety pen? Kev, I cried because actually the guy right below you, Parker, he was less than 30 feet away when it happened. I was the first person he called. I got an on the ground view of exactly what it looked like that day with all these students running away, ambulances and police swarming the scene. Everybody thinking there was going to be a part of a mass shooting. All while I'm on live, and then I saw the video of his aorta getting ripped right the fuck open. Scared it could happen to me. Not to mention that regardless of the fact that I didn't like Charlie, and still yet the difference between you and me, considering the fact that you probably did, is that somebody I've met, interacted with in real life. That's something that not a lot of people on the internet can understand, because that's a level of nuance that I think extends beyond the internet, is that when you've personally engaged with somebody in real life, regardless if you like them or not, you see their fucking aorta get ripped open. It's repulsive, dude. Like, oh my God. You know, like, I understand to you and to like everybody else in here, he was a dude on your phone. All right? Listen, I fucking despise Charlie Kirk just as much as the next guy, but he wasn't just a dude on the phone for me. So knowing my best friend was there, and about a billion other factors, so scared and terrible, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, a tear was brought to my eye, but I'll never do that on camera, though, man.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm built.
Wait, so then why do you support Trump?
Why do I support Trump? Because I couldn't imagine Kamala Harris being president.
Kamala Harris. Okay, but wait, I'm sorry. So why do you say that about Charlie, but then you're totally okay with supporting Trump?
What do you mean? I was sad about Charlie's unaliving.
Oh, you said you were sad. You just said that you wouldn't.
I wouldn't cry on camera about it, you know?
Well, dude, because you didn't.
Especially
Also,
call
you.
Bro, I was live. Listen, I was live when this happened. That was like an uncontrollable response.
Man, like, but dude.
Kev, let me give you the rundown of events from my perspective.
All right. Let's move on from that. All right, I'm not
No,
going
I just want you to
to bash
understand
you
this for a second.
crying.
Listen.
But you know,
literally, it happens. I'm running away like every other student, scared that maybe there's going to be a shooter somewhere else in the parking lot that could be going after me, that might do that after that happened. I don't know that it's an assassination attempt yet. I think it's possible.
You were there, right?
Yes, 30 to 40 feet away. The first person I call is first two people I call is my mom and my girlfriend. Both of them don't answer because they're busy. The first person who answers me is Dean, and he's hearing me like freaking out about the event, scared that there's possibly a shooter around, and I'm asking him what's going on because he has an ability to see the information outside of that. And that's like literally when he was on live, or I'm pretty sure like just starting live or something. So that's like the prior to all of this in the first place. So like people try to act like, oh, I wouldn't have shed a tear. Well, okay, like if you had a friend there, that one of your best friends, and they called the first time, and then you were also scared that this could happen to you as well, and you have to talk about your family members about how this could be a risk for you to be in on a daily basis, wouldn't that be something that could invoke an emotional response in any typical person?
Sure. I just think as a man, you shouldn't do that on camera, man.
And that is exactly why
there we go.
74% of suicides are done by men. Because men are told by other men, by the way, not by women, by other men, to bottle up their emotions, to stuff them down deep inside, and dealing with it like a man just means not dealing with it at all, which then leads to more erratic emotional behaviors, spiking our violent crime rate to 92%, and spiking our self-unaliving rate to 74% of all self-unalivings.
And you think it's because like men can't express their emotions, and you think men should be able to cry more on camera?
I think men can express their emotions. I just don't think many men do express their emotions in a mature manner, because men like you tell them not to.
Okay. Do you think maybe that so here's my perception of it, all right? So women will tell you that it's okay to be soft.
Parker, I'm actually going to pass this off to you. I gotta go start getting ready for Andy Bashir. So I'll be right back, everyone.
Keep saying what you're saying, man.
All right. So what pretty much what I'm saying is women lie. Like they say, oh, you need to express your emotions and